Take note. There is a brilliance inside of us that is ready to burst. But in order to achieve this breakthrough, you have to be willing to release it. Our keynote speaker knows that in order to achieve genuine breakthrough, you must first shift your thinking and find your brilliance. This pursuit over his career has helped millions of people all over the world understand their full potential in life and in business. Get ready to learn from, to experience the leader of the global brilliance movement, Simon T. Bailey.
When an individual commits to breakthrough, they are ready to own the future. Men and women who own the future understand that the future is for sale. And everything that they do every day in every way is they acquire and buy the future by their habits, by their beliefs, and by their behaviors. Owning the future not only creates a breakthrough, but it simply starts with understanding who do I have to become in order to experience a breakthrough. Disney never hired me to do a job. Disney hired me to create a moment. I had an opportunity to interview KJ, who is one of your operators in Albany, Georgia. And I wanted to understand, what did breakthrough look like to him? And he began to share with me that he began to understand if he was going to be successful long term. He is one of 11 operators that has 3 locations, multi-unit locations here in Chick-fil-A. And he said, Simon, I understood that I needed to create head coaches, which are directors, and he has 6. I needed to understand how I assign captains, who are the managers, and then special men and women who really love what they do, subject matter experts, he calls them. And he says, these men and women together operate brilliantly, and they do it because I closed the adult daycare center. And closing the adult daycare center, he recognized he didn't have to do everything. So his breakthrough came as a result of how do I develop those that are closest to the action. So here's the question for you. How curious are you to experience a breakthrough? How bad do you want it? You know what's so interesting? 15 years ago, my neighbor, Joe Adio, he and his wife, Deb, who are here today, they are Chick-fil-A operators. Hi, Joe. Hi, Debbie. Joe came over my house and he said, I got this 300-page application from Chick-fil-A. What do you think? And I had just left Disney and I was like, dude, you gotta do it. I mean, this is Chick-fil-A. He says, I know. And so we just kind of sat there in my home office. We're going back and forth. So I went to see Joe a few days ago because I wanted to understand a little bit more about what's happened in 15 years. And what was so amazing in the 2 hours that I was there, he said, Simon, I had to remove the constraints because his restaurant only seats 96 people. His parking space has maybe 50 parking spaces, and half of those are taken up by team members. But he said, you know what? Here's what's happening. He says, when I begin to look at what I personally could do, I recognize that now today we serve 2,200 meals a day. You do 3.8 million daily. He's 2,200 of that. I said, what else did you do? He said, I recognized if I invested $5,000 in the back kitchen area that maybe I can get into the catering business. And sure enough, he has a person out on the street, and SeaWorld called, and SeaWorld said, hey, you know, one of our kitchens is down for our employees. Can you come and serve them? So sure enough, they did that. Well, word spread throughout SeaWorld that all the other employees want Chick-fil-A, and this is the culinary director that's calling them. Because he removed that constraint. he began to say, where have I been and what am I going to do about where I am? How many of y'all love Chick-fil-A? That's, here's why I ask you that question. Chick-fil-A is all about love. Because the moment you walk into any of your locations, people feel the love.